Today, I'm sewing myself a sleep mask, because if there's a way to spend more of the day unconscious, I'll take it. This mask is hand sewn, so no machine required. To make this mask, you'll need some very soft fabric. I'm using this pink one. It was advertised as a fabric to make baby blankets with, and it is so soft. Make sure this fabric that will sit against your eyes is soft, but not fluffy, or you'll get little hairs in your eyes, and that would be at best aggravating. You'll also need a cover fabric. I'm using grey, but basically choose whatever you like. Between the two, I have a layer of fleece to make it totally impossible for even a ray of light to sneak through. To make the pattern, you'll need paper, pencils, a mug, and a pair of scissors. For sewing and embroidery, you'll need an assortment of needles, scissors, thimbles, a frame, pins, sewing thread, and embroidery yarns. For the ties, I'm using ribbon. And that's it. That's all you need. So let's get going. To start, we'll need a pattern. For this, I'm using the mug. Choose a mug with an opening that is wide enough to cover your eye from eyebrow to cheekbone. To help you follow along, I'll flip the picture and zoom in a bit. Draw around the mug, then move it to form a Venn diagram with a cross-section that is about 1 centimeter wide. On top, connect the highest points with a straight line. At the bottom, make a curve to accommodate your nose. Cut out a piece of the cover fabric to fit your embroidery frame. Use a water erasable pen to trace the pattern onto the fabric. Then mount it in your embroidery frame. Use your own discretion and talented artist's eye to choose embroidery threads. Also, get out a needle, small scissors and thimbles. Use the water erasable pen from earlier to draw some flowers to embroider. Use long and short stitch to embroider the outer edge. Fill in with a slightly darker color and fill in the middle with French knots. And done. Now to cutting out. Pin the cover fabric to the fleece. And cut. Then do that again, but with the lower level. You could do this all in one go, but I didn't quite trust myself to cut through 3 layers of fabric neatly. After cutting the lower layer, do not remove the pins. Just leave this 3-layer fabric sandwich in one piece. Cut 2 pieces of ribbon, each 45 cm long. I have a pretty big head and 45 centimeters is long enough, even for me. Shove one end of each ribbon between the layers of the sandwich and fix it in place with a few stitches right at the edge. Next up, sew around the edge, all around. Sewing in the ties first means they don't keep shifting and falling out and are generally less annoying. Alright, that is starting to come together. Now choose a thread to make the buttonhole stitch edge. Wools are a little bit too fuzzy to have this close to my eyes with nothing in between, so I'm using cotton pearl. To cover the raw edge, the last step is to add a buttonhole edge. If you don't know buttonhole stitch, it's pretty easy. Start with the needle on top of the fabric, plunge into the fabric and come up from behind and wrap the thread around the needle, pull through. If you do that a bunch of times in a row, you'll get this row of knots along the edge that will cover the raw edge of the fabric. If you do it neatly, it looks really good. If you're a bit messy about it, as I was with the first few stitches, it'll look very messy. So take your time and be neat about it. Buttonhole stitch has about 24 variations, but this one was used in ye olde times to strengthen buttonholes, hence the name. Once the buttonhole edge is in place, you're done. And now you're the proud owner of your very own hand-sewn sleeping mask. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe?